Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be finally creating our final Android Studio application or Android application, which is basically a real estate application which allows a builder or a constructor to basically list down his properties for sale, and he could also list down the locations like where the properties are actually available. And basically we are going to generate a simple contact form in this application so that a customer which uses this application could basically contact the builder for a particular property. So what I will try to do here is that I will try to include all the concepts which are actually covered in this course, and we are going to use all the things which we have used in this course, and we are trying to cover them all. So the very first thing which we do is that we start a brand new Android Studio project, and let's name it as ABC Builders. Then click next, and let's go with the API level 15. Click next. And for the sake of this tutorial, what we are going to do is that we are going to create a login screen as the home screen. So whenever the user actually opens up the app, he actually needs to log in into the application. So we are going to go with a blank activity, but eventually what we are going to do is that we are going to add in a navigation drawer. We are also going to add in a scroll activity and all that kinds of things, but the main activity is going to be the blank activity. So make sure that you select the blank activity, then click next, and finally click finish. So once our project is set up, we'll have our main activity right over here, and what we are going to do here is that we are going to create a darker theme for this thing right here. So what we do is that we change the background color of this, and in order to change it, we open up our web browser and we are going to use the material design colors for this. So basically we search for Android material design colors, and this link which pops up is going to be the website for using colors for our application. So we are going to give it a darker theme. So let's say we want the background color to be a bit grayish, so we select this color right here. So as soon as you click on it, your color would be copied onto the clipboard. So now the only thing which you need to do is that we need to go here and go to background and just paste this color right over here, and make sure that you give a hash right before it. So as you could see, now the color has been changed. Now the next thing which we do is that as we are going to create a login screen here, we go ahead and drag a large text, drop it over here, and let's name this thing as login. So we type login, and let's change the color of this thing to, let's say, white. So we simply select it and go to text, and also you could make the changes over here. So if we click on preview, you could make the changes, and simultaneously you could check what happens right here. So in order to change the color, we go here and we use the property which is called as Android text color, and let's make it white. So we type hash FFFFFF. So as you could see, now the color has been changed to white. Now the next thing which we do is that we add two edit text right over here. One is to accept the email, and second one to accept the password. So we scroll right here and we select the text field which is called as an email. We drag it and drop it right over here, and we select one more text field for password. So again we go here, drag it and drop it over here. So as you could see, these are our two edit text. Now the next thing which we do is that we make them actually extend this entire screen. So we simply select both of them, and for the layout width we make it as match parent, so that they are extended to the length or the width of the screen. So now once we have these two text fields, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to add a button over here which says like continue or login, something like that. So let's go ahead and add a button over here. So let's go here and select a button, drag it, and let's drop it right over here, and let's name this as continue. But as you could see, the button looks a bit boring, so we are going to change some properties over here. So we go inside the button tag, and the first thing which we do is that we also make it extend the entire thing. So let's say for the Android layout width, instead of wrap content, we are going to make it match parent, and for the background we are going to use the black color. So we type Android background, let's say hash 00000 and 0. So as you could see, now the background is black, but the problem is that the text is still in the black color. So let's change the text to white. So we type Android text color. So text color is basically a property which is used to change the color of the text. So we mention FF. So as you could see, now it looks appropriate. And now if you want to change the size of this, what you could do is that you could simply type in Android text size, Android text size, and let's make it like 30 sp. I think that's a bit bigger. Let's go ahead and make it 20. So I think 20 looks appropriate. So now one more thing which we need to do is that we need to add in some placeholders right over here, so as to make the user understand that this field is for email and this one is for the password. So we go into the first field and we add one more property which is called as the hint. So we type Android hint, and in there we specify something like enter email, and also we need to change the hint color. So we type Android hint color, that is text color hint, and let's make it white as well. And what we are going to do is that we are going to copy the same property from this edit text and we are going to paste it for the edit text inside the password. And let's change this thing to enter password. So once it is done, we are good to go. Now as you could see, we have designed the layout for our login screen. Now the only thing which remains is that we actually need to add in the logic for actually verifying that the user is authorized to access the application. So what we are going to do is that we are going to switch to the main activity.java, and inside here, right after this, what we are going to do is that we are going to get a reference to both of the edit text and we are going to check, or we are going to look for a particular condition. So the very first thing which we do is that we get a reference to the edit text, and now in order to get a reference we actually need to have an ID to this. So the ID for the edit text is edit text, and for the second edit text it is edit text 2. So let's change this ID to email, and or let's say my email, and for the second one let's change the ID to my password or my pass. And here we are going to make a change, so here we are going to type in my email. So once it is done, we are good to go. Now the only thing which we need to do is that we need to add an on click to this button right here. So in order to add an on click to this button, what we do is that we go to the properties, we search for a property called on click, and there it is. So we name it as button click. So now what we want to do is that on clicking of this button right here, we actually want to check if the entered email and password is correct. So in order to do that, we switch to the main activity.java and we create a new method which is called as onClick, which basically gets executed whenever we press this button right here. So we go to the main activity and we go right here, and then we type public void onClick, and actually this should be button click. So we type button click, So make sure that you have named this thing, which is nothing but the on click, same as the method which we are creating, and to this we pass in view, and inside it we basically get a reference to the to edit text. So in here what we are basically going to do is that we are going to check if the entered email and password is correct, and if it is correct we are going to redirect the user to a new activity, and if it is incorrect then we are basically going to pop up a toast which actually says that the entered email or password is invalid. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope you guys understood how to create the login activity. So in the next tutorial we'll be designing the logic behind the login activity. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.